Olga is a 2018 novel by the German author Bernhard Schlink. Schlink was born in Großdornberg in 1944 and moved to Heidelberg when he was 2. He studied law at university and became a judge, then a university professor. In the 1980s, he produced a number of detective stories before publishing his best-known novel, The Reader, in 1995. He currently teaches in New York City and in Berlin. This review contains spoilers. The plot of Olga can be summarised fairly easily. In many ways it's a dull book, but that's almost certainly deliberate for reasons I'll come to at the end. Olga Rinker is an orphan raised by a grandmother in a Prussian village at the beginning of the 20th century. She's highly intelligent, but her opportunities are limited. She falls in love with a boy called Herbert, the son of the wealthiest man in the district. Their childhood romance continues into adulthood, though Herbert's parents do their best to split the couple up. Unfortunately, Herbert wants to see the world. He joins the colonial army and gets posted to German Southwest Africa, where it's later implied he may have participated in a genocide. Afterwards, he goes to Argentina, then to Brazil, then to Siberia. He keeps travelling abroad, but he also maintains his relationship with Olga. She's sure he's not having an affair, but she does feel neglected. In the meantime, she's achieved a teaching position in a rural village, bringing her a small income. She desperately wants to make an impression on the world, but realises she can only do so indirectly. She picks a talented local boy called Ike as a kind of project. Meanwhile, Herbert undertakes an ambitious expedition to the Arctic, which fails, leading to his probable death. He never appears in the novel again. The First World War comes and goes. Afterwards, Ike becomes a Nazi. The Second World War arrives. At the end, Olga flees from the Allied advance and is deafened when a bomb hits a locomotive and it blows up. Ike seems to disappear. After the war's end, Olga becomes a seamstress. She bonds with a young child in one of the families she works for, enough to take him partly into her confidence. It gradually becomes clear that the whole novel so far may be his work, because the two remain close until he becomes an adult. She dies. He wants to find out more about her, and he discovers a hidden cache of her letters held at a post office in Norway. It turns out that Ike was her son. And that's more or less it, except that she dies in mysterious circumstances that are only fully explained at the end. Olga is a novel that's easy to read because Schlink's writing style is so clear. Some of the puffs on the cover say it's about Germany's modern history, which is only partly true. Really, it's a feminist novel. Schlink is well known in Germany for being a moral writer. His father was a prominent anti-Nazi Christian theologian, and his lifelong devotion to law must surely have emerged from that. So here we have a kind of lament. Olga could really be any one of the countless billions of humans whose talents were, and in places still are, allowed to rot on the branch simply because they were women and they were poor. And in a way, that's it. A book that's about something so ordinary we hardly even notice it. A book about the way that for most of its history humanity has wasted at least half of its potential. With a difference though, because most books that try to do that focus on a few successful pioneers. The waste appears in the background, and we come to lament it in relief. Here, it's in the foreground. Which is why I said earlier that Olga's dullness, if it is that, may be deliberate. And if I'm right, then that makes it quite original.